welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my weight loss story. So I'm going to be talking about how much I've lost, how long it took me, I'll share some pictures, I'll talk about how I did it, what's different between then and now, and just some general tips that I used during my weight loss that I think might be beneficial to someone else that might want to be going through the same journey. So I hope that this will inspire some people to make a healthier change in their life. And with that said, let's get started. So just to give you a little background about how I even gained the weight in the first place. I think it started when I was just hitting puberty. Just before I left primary school, I was quite a bit bigger than the rest of schoolmates and stuff like that. The weight just kept going up and up and up throughout high school and college, and then into university. So I'd always been the bigger girl in school. I'm not particularly sure how or why it started. I don't think there's a particular reason why it started. I think I just ate too much. I think one thing that did contribute to it was in I think the first year of college I started playing an online game called World of Warcraft. It's quite a popular game. I won't go into too much detail about it, but I pretty much played that all the time, and we played it into the early hours of the morning and stuff like that. So I think it was just a habit to eat while I was playing the game, and I think that's how I gained so much weight. I didn't go out much or anything like that. Every single hour after college and university was spent on that game, so I wasn't very active at that point. So when I quit in my final year of university was also when I started my weight loss journey. So I think that the game definitely did contribute to a lot of my weight gain. So the most weight that I've lost is 120 pounds. At the moment I'm sitting around 110 pounds lost. But that's just because I gained a bit of weight after surgery, and it's taken quite a bit of time since the trauma for me to get the weight back off. So yeah, 120 pounds, that's about 8.5 stone or 54 kilos depending on what measurements you use in your country. It's taken me about 3 years to lose that 120 pounds. I started losing weight in late 2010, and I started maintaining my weight in late 2014. Whether I can say that I have a particular starting weight. I have a starting recorded weight, which was when I went to the doctor for the first time when I started getting serious about weight loss, and my first recorded weight then was 258 pounds, which is obviously morbidly obese for my height. I'm 5'6". I had weekly weigh-ins with the doctor to see my progress during that time, but I never went on the scales before that doctor's appointment, so for all I know I could have been higher than that at some point. My current weight is 155, but my lowest ever weight that I want to try and get back down to is 138. 138 is obviously my 120 pound loss mark. I'm going to insert some pictures. I'll make a slideshow of a timeline of weight loss photos. I don't have a lot of photos from when I was at my highest weight, just because I think it's natural to not really want to take any pictures when you're that size, especially if you don't have a lot of self-confidence. So There won't be a lot of pictures from like my highest weight, but I do have like gradual pictures all the way down to my lowest weight, so I'll insert them somewhere here, or they'll they'll come up next. So I started losing weight in late 2012, late 2010, when I was still in university. So at that point I didn't really have many options because I was studying, I didn't have a lot of time and stuff like that, so I just started small and I cut my portion sizes so they were more manageable, and just smaller in general compared to what I was eating before. I always had a rule from a weight loss that I wouldn't cut anything out. So I know a lot of people that have cut out sweets and crisps and soda and all that kind of stuff out of their diet, and that just didn't work for me. I did try, it just didn't work. I always binged on it, so I just said I would have those stuff still in my diet, but just in moderation. So yeah, I cut portion sizes in half, and I also started walking a lot more. I used to get the bus to university, but I used to get off at the bus stop that was right next to my class, so instead I started taking the bus, but getting off a few stops before where my class was, so I could just be more active during the day. I also bought a Xbox and a Kinect, and I bought the Biggest Loser game, so I was using that as like a workout that I would do every day without fail, and throughout 2010 to 2011, with all the walking at university, cutting portion sizes, doing the Biggest Loser, I lost about 35 pounds. Then I finished university, graduated, and then moved in with Philip in 2011 in July, and I bought a cross trainer. It's also called an elliptical if you use the gym and stuff like that. And I did that religiously for like an hour every day. Continued eating smaller portions, eating healthier, not having as much junk food, and having it in moderation like I wanted. And I lost about 41 pounds during that time, up until about 2012. In 2012 I then started running, and I started with the Couch to 5k program, which I highly recommend to anyone that wants to start out running. It did absolute wonders for me. I started the program in February of 2012, and I couldn't run 30 seconds. When I first started with podcasts and I started running the first time, I think I got to like 15 seconds and I was like, oh my god, I just can't do anymore. You just have to push yourself through it and like push your boundaries and get through it that way. So I've lost about 40 to 45 pounds through running. I started maintaining my weight in November of 2013, which was when I'd hit my 120 pound lost marker. Then in 2014 in April I had my surgery, and I gained about 10 pounds after surgery. They said it was normal, obviously due to not being able to exercise after the surgery, and I found it pretty difficult to get the weight back off, so I am around 110 pounds lost at the moment. I'm hoping to get back down to what I was prior to surgery, so to hit 120 pounds lost again. I think it's just going to take a while. I am getting there slowly, but I've done it once, so I should be able to do it again. Back when I started losing weight in 2010, I think I was a bit naive and not really knowledgeable about what was right and what was wrong. So when I first started losing weight, I was on Weight Watchers microwave meals. I know that they're not healthy to live on, and it's not really sustainable, but it was a learning process for me. I didn't know what worked and what didn't, and what was best for you and what wasn't. So it was a process, really. So yeah, I did the Weight Watchers meals for a while. Obviously they didn't work out for me, so I cut my portion sizes, made healthier choices. Yeah, that was about it. I didn't really try any other sort of diets. I kind of just worked on the smaller portion sizes and healthier eating, and I've done that throughout my whole weight loss. And as I've already said, I ate what I wanted, but in moderation. So if I wanted a piece of cake or anything like that, I would have a piece of cake. I wouldn't restrict myself from it. And that's worked out pretty well for me. I still do that now. If I want a piece of cake or a sweet or a piece of chocolate, I will have it, because otherwise I'll just binge on it. I'll crave on it and binge on it. So it's best that I don't restrict food groups from my diet. What I ate then compared to what I eat now is pretty much the same. So I eat chicken, rice. I always have vegetables. I always have dessert if I want it. Breakfast, I have porridge or anything that I fancy. Lunches is always a sandwich or Rivita crisp breads, tuna, chicken, anything like that. I always try to make healthier choices though. Snacks, I'll have a snack bar or a cereal bar, naked bars, 9 bars. Pieces of fruit, yogurt. Yeah, it's pretty basic really. I don't do anything special with my diet, so I've continued the eating habits that I was doing when I lost weight compared to now, except now I don't have a calorie deficit. I used to count calories when I was losing weight, and I used MyFitnessPal. I don't use that anymore. I think it's good while you're losing weight, but I think it can get quite addictive, so I stopped that as soon as I started maintaining my weight. I just upped my portion sizes slightly now that I'm maintaining, but other than that I'm not really doing anything different. I get asked a lot about whether I've had loose skin from obviously the big amount of weight loss that I've had. The answer is yes. Not everyone gets it. Some people are lucky enough to lose all the weight and not have it. Some people aren't as fortunate and they will be left with loose skin. The only thing I can advise with that is don't let it deter you. I think I would have much rather lived with the loose skin than I would feel the way I felt when I was overweight. Obviously if you follow my blog or my social media, you'll know that I did have a tummy tuck and a breast lift in April, but I will go into more detail about that on another video. I'm not going to discuss any more of that here, so if you want to know more about that, there will be a video coming soon on it, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them. But other than that, just the only thing I can advise is please don't let the fear of loose skin deter you from losing the weight. Having some loose skin is better than the health problems that you can get from being obese and overweight. So that's it. That was my weight loss story, or my weight loss journey. I hope that it has inspired someone else to make a positive change in their life. Maybe there's people that just haven't had the motivation to start their weight loss journey, and I hope this might be of help to some people. If you think that I haven't covered anything, then please leave it in the comments below, and I'll probably do a Q&A if there's a lot of questions to answer or anything like that. But yeah, I think that's about it. I hope that I covered everything. Like I said, if not, leave them in the comments. And I will speak to you in my next video. Bye!